Hey guys, what is up? My name is Tom Spark. Welcome back to another video. Today we're talking about anonymous ways to pay for a VPN. Now, when you're using a VPN, a lot of people are looking for anonymity. Basically, they are looking for a way to hide their traffic from the ISP so they can't be snooped on. They're looking to protect and hide their IP. They're looking to stay anonymous while torrenting, i.e. not send information to copyright troll companies so they get in trouble for torrenting, or maybe even just to remain anonymous to Netflix so Netflix can't tell where they are. A lot of people are skeptics of the anonymity that VPNs provide, but as examples I just listed, they do provide anonymity in certain ways or another. So when you're paying for a VPN, another way that you might want to be anonymous is not giving them your payment information in terms of credit cards and stuff like that. So today I'm going to be talking about the most anonymous ways to pay for a VPN provider and which ones could be the most anonymous. Anyways guys, let's get into the video. Hey guys, if you haven't checked out my website, I really encourage you to do so. It's vpntierlist.com. You can find all sorts of information, my tier list, important links, my favorite products, etc. Also guys, if you want to help support the channel and buy some of my merch, I think it looks really cool. I got tons of cool designs like this one and like some of these that have cool gradients of colored matrix inside privacy icons. Anyways guys, back to the video. Links down in the description down below. So guys, let's go ahead and take a look on some sample options you may have when paying for a VPN provider. Now, my top rated VPN on the channel is TorGuard. If you want to see why, check out the full TorGuard review. If you use code TOMSPARK, you can get 50% off that subscription. But today we're not talking about the price. We're talking about the payment methods. And TorGuard VPN is just one of my favorite VPNs in terms of how you can pay for it. That's because they give you a lot of options. You do have some very convenient but not anonymous options like Amazon Pay. You can just connect this to your Amazon Pay account and pay for TorGuard pretty well. You also have stuff like coin payments, which is going to give you options to pretty much pay with any cryptocurrency. You have stuff like Visa and debit cards and stuff like that as well. Now, if you want to use debit card for TorGuard, there are kind of semi-anonymous ways to do so. You have stuff like privacy.com, which is a website that doesn't really provide you anonymity from them since you're going to have to connect your bank account in order to make cards. But what the website does is it creates anonymity between you and your account. So basically what that means is you do not have to give every one of these websites your credit card. This is very useful because you will very effectively pause, delete, and control the credit cards themselves since they are digital. Not only that, but you do not have to provide your real billing information or information associated with your credit card. So it's going to give you that anonymity there and that you do not have to provide real information. Whereas with a real credit card, you have to provide specific information or the website will most likely decline it due to fraud. So there are semi-anonymous ways to pay with traditional payment methods like Visa and stuff like this. But I want to talk more a little bit about some other methods like cryptocurrency, like Bitcoin and Litecoin, coin payments, and stuff like gift cards as well. Now, stuff like Bitcoin and Litecoin admittedly might not be truly anonymous in that the FBI and other spy agencies can kind of track transactions around if they want to through the blockchain. The blockchain itself with Bitcoin and stuff like that, it's a public ledger. So the entire idea behind it is not really anonymity, but more full transparency, which can sometimes be very useful when tracking payments and seeing where they're going. Bitcoin, it wasn't really necessarily designed to combat police forces and make them so they couldn't track money around. If anything, it was to fight decentralization and the power of banks and provide more transparency on where money is going. So it's not so much about privacy per se in terms of where money is going, but more about the centralization of that, money. But however, besides Bitcoin and Litecoin, we also have other options that you could find through coin payments, which is kind of like a payment processing center for cryptocurrencies. You have stuff like Monero, which is very anonymous, and it has various technologies that kind of hide payments and stuff like that, so they're not kind of public. You also have other things like Litecoin, which are developing kind of anonymous ways to hide transactions and stuff like that, like stuff like Mimblewimble and whatnot. However, I don't know if it's quite there as yet, quite anonymous as Monero. However, we do have some other options like gift cards, which might be a more easily readable, easy way to provide anonymous payment options to, these websites. A lot of people who are purchasing VPN could be under 18, so sometimes it's hard to get access to cryptocurrency. Maybe they can't sign up for something like Coinbase, which in itself is not a very anonymous website, since again, you have to pretty much connect, your real life information to access to use that website. So what people can do instead, if you want, you can go to your local grocery store. Maybe you have like $20 in cash. You go to the checker and you buy, let's say, $20 to Amazon, or maybe to Walmart or some popular website or kind of company out there. You get this credit card, you go home, and then you can pick this option on Torguard's website as well as some other VPN providers. I think stuff like private internet access supports it. Not every VPN will. So you can then use that gift card you bought and kind of trade that as a subscription for the VPN service. Effectively, that means you would be buying the VPN with that $20 cash. If you want to take it to the extra level, if you want to make it even more anonymous, you can maybe wear sunglasses or some kind of mask, which is definitely more socially acceptable right now during the pandemic. This is a pretty good way to pay for VPN anonymously. And you can even give anonymous payment or information when signing up. You can make a fake email. You can make a 10-minute burner email. You could use some kind of private email if you want to on a website like Tutanota. There are ways to sign up and pay anonymously. And people who say you can't just aren't really considering all the different tools and tricks you can do. So I do think that paying with a gift card is probably one of the easiest options, one of the most anonymous options to pay for a VPN. But you do have some other options as well, especially if you want to experiment with cryptocurrencies. Stuff like Monero is a good option as well. However, that said, not all VPNs are equally anonymous in terms of how you can pay for them. Some VPN providers like ExpressVPN are pretty big and very popular. They do provide some options like Bitcoin and some other kind of like Eastern friendly options, but they don't provide gift card as a way to kind of trade and get that VPN subscription. So what have we learned today? There are various ways, various levels, of course, of anonymity you can use to buy a VPN provider. You can use something like privacy.com, which is primarily for US citizens, but you can also use other services in the EU to make kind of digital credit cards. These will let you hide your billing information and control the credit cards themselves more effectively. You can also use cryptocurrencies like Monero if you want to buy anonymous VPN anonymously. So if you're looking to get Monero, it's a little bit of a learning curve for sure. You're going to have to get some cryptocurrency, probably Bitcoin. Go to a website like Coinbase Pro or something like Binance or Binance, however you want to call it. You're going to have to transform or shapeshift or just kind of trade, I guess, your Bitcoin into Monero. Once you have that Monero on some kind of wallet, you can then send it to the VPN itself. It's a little bit more of a hassle, I think, but it is a good anonymous option. You also have finally stuff like I mentioned before, the gift card option, which I think is actually a pretty easy option. The only downside is not every website accepts them. I do think, though, Torguard VPN being the top-rated VPN on the channel that provides so many different payment options, you're going to be pretty much set depending on which route you want to go. Anyways, guys, let me know down in the comments down below if you have any secret anonymous ways to pay for VPN, and I'll see you again on the next video very soon.